I'm Councillor Belinda Garcia and I shall be chairing tonight's meeting. First of all, just a bit of housekeeping. There's no fire drill scheduled in the building this evening. If the fire alarm sounds, therefore, please could I ask that you make your way down the main staircase out of the main doors of the Town Hall and congregate at the entrance to Caldecott Park. An officer of the council will then give instructions when it's safe to re-enter the building. Thank you. Now we'll start with the agenda tonight. So first of all, the minutes. To confirm the minutes of the meeting held on the 16th of July 2024. Is that everybody with that? Oh, hang on a minute. What do you say? Is everybody happy to sign the minutes?
Really sorry, can I just say, Chair, we've all got caught, there's an accident outside.
Not to worry, you haven't missed anything. Hope whoever's in the accident's okay. Right, are we ready? Okay, ready to start. Right, could I just confirm with you all that you're all happy with the minutes of the meeting held on the 16th of July? Is that okay? And your wish is that I sign those as a true representation? Apologies. Is there any apologies for tonight's meeting?
I have apology, Chair, from Councillor Mrs Dumbleton.
Right. Declarations of interest. So, to receive the declarations of A, non-pecuniary interests as defined by the Council's Code of Conduct for councillors. Anybody? No. B, pecuniary interests as defined by the Council's Code of Conduct for councillors. No. And notice under Section 106, Local Government Finance Act 1992, non-payment of community charge or council tax. Do I need to read that bit out? Marion, do I need to read that bit out? Okay, so we're on to item number 4, the statutory review of the gambling policy statement of principles. So is that over to?
Thank you, Chair. The Gambling Act 2005 places a duty on the Council to publish a gambling policy statement of principles on which a licensing decision will be based. This policy must be reviewed every 3 years in line with the statutory requirements. The Council's existing policy is now due for review and must be republished by the 31st of January 2025. The policy has been reviewed and consulted on in line with statutory requirements. 3 responses to the consultation were received and have been put into a table at 2.4 of the report. 1 response was from a parish council and advised that this review was not relevant to their parish. A second response from the Council's planning team advised that no comments would be submitted in relation to this review. The final response to consider was from GamCare, who are a provider of information, advice and support for anyone who may be affected by the negative impacts of gambling. This full response can be read at Appendix B of the report. The 2 key elements of the response are as follows. Firstly, GamCare wish to see a public health approach to gambling from the Council, including the training of frontline and primary care staff to recognise the signs of gambling harm and develop referral pathways to the National Gambling Helpline. Wording already within the policy has been deemed relevant to this comment and therefore the policy has not been amended. It is stated within the policy that the Council will make considerations in regards to the protection of children and other vulnerable persons from being harmed or exploited by gambling, such as whether an operator has specific training programs for staff to ensure they are able to identify children and vulnerable people and take appropriate action to promote this objective, age verification measures, whether there is a provision for self-barring schemes and provision of information leaflets or helpline numbers for organisations such as GamCare. At this time, the policy has not been amended, and the already stated steps will continue to be considered when issuing permits or licences. In relation to the above, the Council's website is due to be updated shortly to include a page specific to gambling and its potential harms, recognising the signs and where help can be sought. Secondly, GamCare suggested we pursue a local area profile approach which specifically analyses gambling risks, then to use this data as a basis from which to scrutinise and possible oppose licences applications. The current policy states that wherever evidence is submitted to the licensing authority identifying any areas of concern, the licensing authority will produce a local area profile separate to this statement. Once adopted, the local area profile is intended to assist the licensing authority and operators in identifying specific risks within the district. This wording has been deemed appropriate by officers, therefore no changes to the policy have been made. Officers have reviewed the online geographic gamble aware plan, and Rugby is predicted to be at a low risk compared to the average risk identified across Great Britain. Full details of the predicted geographic gambling harms within Rugby from Gamble Aware can be seen at 2.7 of the report. The Gambling Commission guidance and legislation has been reviewed by officers as part of the process. The Gambling Commission recently consulted on a number of aspects of the licence conditions and codes of practice. These changes are due to come into effect between the 30th of August 2024 and the latest being the 30th of November 2024. The change due to potentially impact this policy is specifically in relation to age verification, Challenge 25 rather than the existing Challenge 21 scheme. Having said that, our policy refers to a proof of age scheme, therefore this change would not specifically require amendments to the Council's existing policy should it be published by the Gambling Commission. As noted previously, this is a statutory review and the Gambling Policy Statement of Principles must be adopted by the Council by the 31st of January 2025 for a period of 3 years. Thank you, Chair.
I have only one question on this policy statement. This says, the response from GamCare is not included at this time. But probably what is the other councils do on that? Any example anywhere what they include?
Thank you, Councillor. So what was it specifically, sorry?
You said the response from the GamCare has not been considered by officers this time.
So,
but probably it means in future we need to consider.
So the response from GamCare has already been covered in the policy. So there was no need to make changes this time because we'd already got the wording covered in the policy.
Was there actually anything changed in the policy from last time?
No, Chair.
Can everybody hear me? Sorry, shall I say that again? Is everybody happy to adopt that policy, which will go, when was it, from January 2025, is it?
Yes,
1st of
January.
Yeah. So if that's the case, could I have a proposer, please, and a seconder? So proposer from Councillor Parker and a seconder. Councillor Barnett, thank you. And could we have a show of hands on that then? Thank you. Right, so that's unanimous. Thank you very much. Right. I think that's that then, isn't it? So there's no business now. no exempt business. So that concludes the meeting for today. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all very much. Sorry, I forgot to pass the board round earlier.